I liked this last time, so I'm gonna have everybody share why they're here and just maybe who you are and who your coach is, and just get a little uncomfortable here to start. Will someone go first?
I'll go first. So I am Brittany Williams. Andrea Hansen is my coach. I have been coaching for, I think I just hit the 2-year mark. I think last week. Has it been 2 years?
Yeah.
Right?
I hit 2
Okay.
this summer, so that makes sense.
Okay, so 2 years. I have been diamond and it is my lifetime rank. But I am currently working toward that rank again.
Awesome. Amanda, do you want to share?
Yeah, I can go. I am Amanda Braithwaite. Andrea is my coach also. I've been coaching for 4 years, kind of up and down. I am so stinking close to diamond. I need if my current coaches would all stay active, I'd only need to add one more coach and then have 2 of my side coaches add one more coach. I have 2 or 3 coaches that could be emerald if they just get one more person. So really stinking close. So I really need the push to get there.
So it's literally any day it can happen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Jessica, do you want to share?
Yep. So I'm Jess. Brianna is my coach, Brianna Mueller. I am currently emerald, so technically I guess there's ruby in between there, but my goal is to just go straight for diamond. I work full-time at a feedlot, and my goal is to quit my full-time job in 2021. So we are just gonna bypass all the stops and we are just gonna get it done.
I like that. Nicole's getting dinner ready, so you don't have to share, Nicole, if you don't want to.
I can share quick. I'm Nicole Funk. Holly Todd is my coach. Let's see. I think I've been coaching for 7 months, officially, once I, shared my journey, I guess 7 months, but, I'm currently emerald, but I'm just skipping ruby and going right to diamond. I'm so close. So I don't know. I'm getting stuck on a few issues. Work has been crazy busy, so I'm just ready to jump back in after this past month of just kind of lagging. So here I am.
Thanks. All right. And I'm Candace, and Andrea is my coach too. And I just love doing calls like this and hanging out with people like you guys who love this business. And I'm super excited to share a few things with you. I put some slides together, so I'm going to share my screen in a second, but I'm going to go through what is diamond? Most of you here already know it, but some people on the replay might not. Perks of being diamond, some of my best tips, and then some action steps. So I will also share, it worked really well last time when I post the recording, I'll share these slides too. So I won't go too in depth with this, but what is diamond? There's a video over here. I'll let people watch it on their own time and watch it on the replay, but here's just your basic. This is what it is. So you've got your emerald, and that's you, and then a coach on the right, coach on the left, and then some of you said ruby, but that's finding a unicorn. Most people just, if you have 2 working coaches, you usually are going straight for diamond. Although I do know some rubies, so it's a thing. But that's having an emerald on each side. You can see the pictures. And then diamond is essentially, it's a total of 12 people. When I hit diamond, I had no working coaches because Beachbody lets you sign up U+2. There's some rules to that. They need to be a spouse, a parent, or a child of yours who's over 18. And so mine, let's say it was my spouse and my mom. And basically I just signed up 2 people on them to make them emeralds, and that made me diamond. So you can get to diamond without having coaches. And so I just ordered my own stuff through my mom's account, beach bars and things to keep her account active. And then she put in her own billing stuff, but we worked out the cost so that we broke even, whatever. You just work that out. Oops, went the wrong way. Oh, no, I didn't. And then, so is there any, there's no, I don't think you guys, oh my gosh, why is this clicking around? There's no questions, I assume, from you guys about like what diamond actually is. 4 coaches on each leg, and then 1 on each side has to be an active emerald. All right, so some of the perks, you start getting a matching bonus. This is really cool. So any of your coaches who get a team cycle bonus, so say one of my coaches, Jen, she gets a $42 team cycle bonus. I get, as a diamond, 10% of that. So I get $4.20 for not really nothing, for just being a diamond. I get free coach leads. So when you hit Success Club and you get free leads sent to your account, if you are a diamond or above, sometimes those leads could be people who sign up on the website for the coach or coach discount. So that's pretty awesome too. You also get a higher team cycle bonus. So an emerald gets like $14 every cycle. Diamonds, I think is it 17 or 18? I'm kind of on a need to know, like, I don't need to know these numbers, but anyway, you get you get yourself a pay raise. And then one thing that's going on right now for us is Andrea is running for our entire downline. So that includes anybody that has access to this call. Andrea is going to be running a diamond retreat in January in Minneapolis that you could qualify by holding diamond for 6 straight weeks. And that would be like a paid spot. You just need to get yourself there, which is sweet. I've been to Andrea's retreats. She does not disappoint. Okay, so some of my very best tips are these. There's a link to the Success Club tracker on here. So if you aren't using that, highly encourage / make it mandatory. You need to be using the tracker of some kind. And I use a Success Club tracker. They made this tracker by talking to all the top coaches in the network and compiling what they all said they did. So follow the tracker as best you can. Dive into your story and share it. I think you have to know your story, because if you listen to Angie Lee's podcast or anything about niching or niching, however you say that down, and because if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So figure out who it is you're talking to. When you figure out your story and you start sharing exactly parts of your story and who you were and how you got here and why you made the choice to start this lifestyle, you'll be shocked at the people you find, because I kid you not, I'm 2.5 years almost into coaching and sharing and doing all the things. And the people in my group, not always, but more than half of them are moms of 3, literally moms who have 3 kids who are little kids. Like, I'm finding my exact person, or they're former athletes. That's kind of my 2 people that I tend to be attracting. So dive into your story. It takes work, but it took me many days, months even, to stop and pause and set time for it. So it's not an easy thing. But when we talk about your story, you want to think about, what were your pain points? What was your turning point? When did you think, I need to do something different? Like, what were those points? Because they're going to be the same for other people. Like, we're not unique. That's going to be somebody else's pain point. So share those and talk directly to her, because that's who you're going to find and that's who needs you. Show up on social media consistently. Consistency is literally gold. Don't let yourself get to, on a 0 to 10 scale, don't let yourself get to 0 on anything. It's okay if you're not at a 10 always, like that's just not even possible. But letting any area get to a 0 is going to derail things for you quickly. And it's going to take so much momentum to get yourself going. Now, if you are at a 0, don't worry, you can get it back. But once you have it back, you've got momentum, keep it going. I always say that if you look at the Success Club tracker, to me, each part is like part of a circle, part of a wheel. So if you stop connecting with people and adding followers, then your next month you're going to see, or maybe a couple months later, you're going to see that you don't have people to invite because no one new is liking your content. No one new is watching your story. Now you don't have as many new people to send invites to that interact with you. And if you don't have enough people to invite, don't have new people to talk to, you're not going to be adding new people. You're not going to be helping new people, which is the main goal, which ultimately turns into Success Club points, to coaches, to going diamond, hitting ranks. So when you let one of those wheels go, or parts of the wheel, I just think of it as a wheel, then it stops everything else and it just trickles down. So continue to show up as best you can. Like I said, it doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10, but something. Then don't skip your personal development. Like there is nothing that's rocket science about this job, but our mindset, I 100% believe, can block people. Go back into some of our team call YouTube things, and I know I've done calls on it, and probably Andrea and other people and Brittany, and we talk about mindset, and we talk about that gratitude piece and your intentions. And if you were in our diamond group that Brittany and I ran, people that were in that group, they were all over the leaderboard that next month. And that is not, to me, a coincidence. You're practicing gratitude. You're setting your intentions every morning. You're thankful for the $14 that shows up in your paycheck. You're so thankful for Susan who reached out, and you're talking to her. She hasn't even signed up yet, but you're putting that gratitude out there. Like you're going to find more, and the universe is going to bring you more. But when our mindset is in a crummy place, and mine goes there too, you have to hit the personal development hard, and you need to do it consistently. And sometimes for me, it is 5 minutes of a podcast. That's it. Sometimes that's all I have time for, because I took a 5-minute shower and I played a podcast, and that was it. And that can change your whole mindset and attitude around. So your mindset is huge. I couldn't say enough about it when you're doing these activities, because nobody wants to join somebody who's not in a positive, a grateful place. Okay, so our action steps. Here's another video I like. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name now. What's her name? I saw her talk at Summit. Anyway, I like her, and I linked a video for her. She gives a bunch of great tips. Anyway, you can watch that video later. Here's some I wrote down. Hit all parts of the tracker. So sometimes when people do the tracker, it's easy to do the first one too, because it's your shake and it's your workout. You're going to do that and post that, and that becomes easy. And then, okay, yep, I can comment on some people's posts. I can make my own posts and yada, yada. And I can do that next chunk where it's like stories and whatever. And then you're great at the interacting in your challenge group, and you skip the box that says make connections, talk to people, send invites. And I love to just put conversations in place of invites, because you are starting conversations with people, and you need to be talking to more and more and new people. So don't skip any part. Oh, and the personal development, that's on the tracker too. So don't skip any part of it. Sometimes you need to do like a speed round. And I know our YouTube team page has a power hour we did, and it was like in 30 minutes, and I went through the tracker in like turbo jet speed. And so sometimes it is like 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2, and you just do it all. And then when you have time later, maybe if you get time that day, then you do more, but you do them all in lightning speed first, and then you can go back later. You have to be posting on your social and stories daily. So make posts, get on your stories. For me, I'm back to school teaching. I'm a mom of 3. I get up super early. It's the only guaranteed time I have all day. And I crank out stories, and I talk on my stories, and I tell everybody that it's like the best day to join me, and I tell them why. And I post those things. Brittany did a team call last week about having slides as well. So like I have slides ready that show like, hey, I have workouts, I have a community. This is what I used to look like. This is what I look like now. Here's my story. And those are just ready, and you can put those up, and you're going to reshare those. So have those things on hand and then make sure you show up and put them on your stories and post. If posting to you is like, I can't think of the words, then you need to hit the personal development and find like a time on the weekend or whenever you have time to write out 4 or 5 post ideas so they're ready, or have 4 or 5 on hand so that on the day you aren't inspired and don't think of anything because work sucked or something happened that day, you can still make your post. So you don't need to be on social media for a large amount of time to make the world who's watching you look like you showed up today, right? You can be on there for like such a small amount of time, because I'm literally on for maybe half hour in the morning, and then I post my workout in the morning too, and then I go to work and I literally can't be on it because I'm not allowed to, so I'm not on it. And then sometimes I come home and I'm drained, and so I don't go on either. And so that's enough though, because if you go watch my stories, it looks like I showed up. So show up, make sure you look consistent, because this is people's health and fitness, and this is something that maybe they've struggled with for such a long time, and they are not going to join a coach who's wishy-washy and inconsistent, because this has already been a struggle, and chances are they've already tried things that didn't work. And so they need somebody who's like extra consistent. They know they're going to be there even when they slip up. They know you'll be there, and showing up consistently, I think, is one way you can show them and build that trust that you will be there. So when I do the tracker and I talk about sending invites, having new conversations, here's something that works really well for me. So I post all week long, and then I'll send invites to new people who have liked posts. Like I'll do that in bulk. I'll go to Instagram, to Facebook, and I'll do like my last 6 posts. I even, so I know where I left off last time. I actually hit the like button on my own post. I don't think anyone notices. Maybe they do. I don't really care if they do. I hit the like button because then I know when I'm scrolling back, okay, I've done that post. Okay, I start here. I'm going to invite to all the new people who have liked these last 5 posts from this week, and I send those in bulk. So I do those invites in bulk. However, I am also talking to people on a daily basis, and sometimes it's only 1 or 2, and here's how I do it. So number 3 there, the bullet point A, I'm a teacher, I like bullets. Use a variety of ways to connect with, so they can connect with you daily. I didn't word that very well. So here's what I'll do. On my stories, I'll post polls. I'll post, even if it's like, oh, did you sweat today? Or I don't know, like mom life or whatever your thing is. Maybe I had a boomerang of my kids and I'm like, oh, I said something silly about my husband this weekend who volunteered us to watch like our niece and nephew and our own kids. So we had 5 kids in our house for 12 hours who were 5 and under. And he just volunteered. And so instead of having a date night and alone time, we had that. And I was like, is your spouse as sweet as mine? Like super thoughtful. Like, and then I put like a little drag your reaction thing. And then you can write those people back. And I make sure before the night's up, I go write those people back who reacted and say something silly to them, or that starts conversations, right? So then I'll put polls on my actual workout things like, tell me more, or yeah, today's my day, whatever. And so if they click those, I go and talk to those people. So I sprinkle those in my stories all over the place. That way, pretty much every day I have someone that I'm at least sending something to, that I'm talking to. Then number 4, once you are in conversation, and I'll share a few of the conversation notes on the next slide, offer the preferred customer discount. So we all know that it's actually technically a coach sign up, right? But coaches get a 25% discount on products. If they buy Shakeology each month, or they buy the performance stack, they're going to save more money than the $15.95 membership fee anyway. So you offer them preferred customer discount, and you just do that once they decide which challenge pack they want. You just say, hey, last question. Do you want to be signed up as a customer or a preferred customer? Here's the deal. You pay $15.95 a month for the membership fee. It's kind of like Amazon Prime, but in return, you get 25% off on any future products, cancel, downgrade at any time, which is an online form, and no fee. Some people say, no, let's just try it. And some people are like, oh yeah, sure. I like getting a discount. So I also linked a video over here. This one is different. So if you've been at this coaching thing a while, you'll probably like this video. It's longer though. And she kind of goes through how to kind of kickstart things after. Here's some of the conversation verbiage I use. I also, so this one on the, well, for me, it's on my left. When I look at it, this is how I send that note I was just saying about, hey, and I think this is Andrea's script, and offer the discount. And then I make sure they know, doesn't matter to me. Like, let me know what's best. What do you feel best with or most comfortable with? But this one over here, I do this too. So when you start having, you can go into your coach office, you can click subscriptions, you can find out who is getting an auto shipment of Shakeology or Performance Stack or whatever. And I've been sending them this. And one, it's a courtesy to say, hey, you have a shipment coming, and if you don't want it, let's get it canceled. But also, if you loved it or at least want to try it again for this month, let me know if you want to in on this discount. So those are kind of two ways I can offer, because those people and those discount people, they're coaches. They help you get to the next ranks, and they're amazing. So don't discount those people. Also, just saying, I was a discount coach for 3 years before I even followed any nudges or thought about coaching. I didn't even know it was a job that you could do. Okay, so let me stop sharing. What do you guys think about that? What other things would you add to the list, or what things are like, I didn't think of that, or what are your thoughts?
Okay, I'm going to add a few things before
Yeah.
I forget. Another way to talk about the discount, which I think resonates with a lot of people, is it being similar to an Amazon Prime membership, that you get, like you pay a small fee up front, but you get 25% off, things like that. So that might be another way, because I think it talked about like Shopko or Sam's Club. So that might be something that's easier for you to describe. And then the other thing is to, like how Candace was talking about your mindset and things like that. It's also how you rebound to people not saying yes, or to people ignoring you and ghosting you and things like that. Like, that's 100% normal. That's 100% part of this job and this business. And you just have to bless and release, because this isn't a gift that everybody is ready for. And so it's not you, it's where they are. And when that happens, you literally like, okay, and move on, because if you get stuck on that, that brings you down, and you just get into a negative headspace. So whatever it is, maybe you lose a discount coach, or you lose a customer, or anything like that, like that is part of this, and it's going to continuously happen along the way. And so you just have to bless and release, because they're not meant to be a part of your journey right now, or whatever the case. So that's a big thing, is just knowing that when it happens, it is 100% normal. It's happened to Candace, it's happened to me, it's happened to like every coach out there. So it's just really how you think about that and move on from it, because you just can't let your headspace, don't let that in your head. It's not worth it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We've even had people who have left and switched to someone else and then signed up as coaches like that week. Like, that's kind of a blow. But you've got to bless and release that, like she said, because that little energy you hold on to, where it's all like negative and self-doubt and mad and whatever, you will block. No, I've never been in a bad mindset and had anyone sign up with me. So I fully think you would just, you block the universe. I'm really glad you said that, because that is the only thing that's hard about this job, is making sure you handle those things. Yeah. With your mindset, and personal development is how you do it.
I think along with that, I don't know if it's been you guys or if it was Andrea, but saying, if they're not in on your vibe, they're not going to be your tribe.
Yeah.
Remember that part too.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
What are some ways that you can put in some belief to some of your working coaches, or to some of your discount coaches, to turn them into working coaches?
Yeah, that's a good question. So some things that I do is when when I have just, those rock star challengers, they post every day. They stick to programs, their results are crazy. Um, or maybe they have started posting like a recipe in the group for everybody, or they posted like a check-in, like, hey, how'd everybody do with their water? Those are signs of coaches. And so go message those people and just send them messages to be like, thanks for being a rock star in the group. I just want to tell you, your consistency inspires me every day. Um, like, just give them compliments and say, you'd make a great coach. That's one thing I do. All of my coaches came out of my challenge groups. So that's another thing. Have a challenge group, run one yourself, show up as the leader, or with a partner or something, but be a leader in it, do live videos. If you aren't doing those actions, your people will never, I don't think your people will turn into coaches or leaders if you aren't doing that, because you will be their proof that they can. Um, so I know for me, when I left Andrea's group and showed up as a leader, that changed the whole ball game. That changed how I posted. That changed my own confidence, because now I own that group. I almost felt like I was fibbing when I would post like, oh, we have a new group starting, my new group. And I'm like, it's not mine. I'm just showing up like a challenger. I wasn't doing live videos. I wasn't posting content. It almost felt like a fraud. So it was a game changer for me. So if you aren't yet and you're watching this, host your own groups or partner up with somebody. Brittany and I run groups together. And well, not now, we run them separately, but we run our coach stuff together. But anyway, find someone and run some groups. Make sure you're excited about your challenge groups, because I think when you get people crazy results, that's when they want to be a coach, because people that aren't getting results have nothing to share. But when people are like, my energy is through the roof and my clothes fit and I'm down 3 sizes, like, those people want to tell their friends. Those people turn into coaches. Go get your people results. Brittany, what would you say to that?
That's my biggest thing. My working coaches have come from my challenge groups. I have not had a unicorn pop up and just say, hey, I want to coach, or, like that hasn't happened. As well as I was in Andrea's group for probably at least 9 months, as well as I was in a prior Beachbody accountability group like 2 or 3 years prior. So it wasn't my first rodeo, but I didn't decide I wanted to coach until I got crazy good results. That's kind of been the same thing for my coaches who want to work the business. So yeah, I guess it's, really making sure that you're getting your people results, and that it's just little things along the way too, is, complimenting them, making sure that you're doing your shout outs and messaging your challengers behind the scenes and letting them know, like, you're doing a great job. I love that you're showing up every day. Those things that you're doing as a coach that you're seeing people in your challenge groups do, those are the things that you want to be, especially those are the things you want to be complimenting, because, let them know that as a coach, you're already doing half the work or whatever, things like that. But I think, and then just making sure that they know that there's an opportunity for them. I think that's big. And talking about that, like if you've ever had a nudge or something like that. There was a video that Andrea did in our accountability group that was just like, you're the one who knows if you have a nudge in your heart to do something like this, blah, blah, blah. That's when I signed up. Because it was something like I had gotten really good results and I was ready to share. So I think that's pretty big. As for if you have a coach signed up who said they want to work and you're not seeing them work or whatever, you can't drag people along in this. And that's one thing that is hard, because it's like you want it for them and all the things, but you can't drag them along. You could see if there's something specific that's holding them up, because the more you ask them questions on like the different topics, chances are you're going to get something that is the reason why they're not running with their coaching business. So the more that you ask them questions, you're going to find out the answer to that. But the biggest thing is you can only do that so much, and you can't drag them through this business with you.
That's a good, I thought of something when you were talking. Every once in a while, like every month or every other month, I'll go live in my challenge group and I'll just say that this has been on my heart, and I was in a challenge group, and I'll just share my story of my coaching journey, and I'll say, just listen along if you've ever thought about coaching. This is how I started, and I just feel like sharing this because I know there's coaches in this group. And so if this has been on your heart, like, you follow the nudge, and you just encourage and you share how you started. So I share that I was in challenge groups for 3 years. I had nudges to do this, but I ignored it. I share some of the things I was worried about. And then I share just kind of how I just jumped one day and went with a brave feeling and just did it. And that I did one teeny small thing outside of my comfort zone every day, and that's all I committed to. And then it just built. And I have had people join me after those types of things. I think that's when Jelena started, actually. Maybe she'll watch this. So anyways, yeah, share those types of things. Don't assume that they know that they could coach too, because I don't think it dawned on me that that was an opportunity for everyone for at least a couple of years while I was in challenge groups. Host one day coach information sneak peeks, and most of the time the people that join mine are my challengers, and so I post a link in there, and I then go message people who've been just crushing it and say, hey, did you want in on that group? I posted that link. Just come check it out if you want to. I think you'd be a great coach. Stuff like that.
Your coach sneak peeks that you host are like 99% for the people that are in your challenge group.
Yes.
That is not for people watching your stories that you've never talked to. I mean, you can definitely invite them. You might have a unicorn, but those groups are really for your challengers that are in your accountability group, that have kind of felt in their heart, but don't really know what it's like. And so that's just where they're going to get information. So it is important that you host those groups and that you are inviting people in your challenge groups to that.
Even when you're making posts, like I think it was Andrea that said this at when we had our little girls weekend, we said, she's like, when you're posting about the coach opportunity, like, you're not just talking to anyone, you're talking about your challengers, you're talking to the people in your group. So that's totally flipped in my mind. Like, when I write about the coaching opportunity in a post, I write it to people in my group. So you're speaking to them, and that they're watching you because they're your biggest fans. They comment on stuff and they cheer you on. They're going to go read that. So talk to them. Also, too, keep in mind, like, if you're watching this and you're on the replay or whatever, you have to talk about the coaching opportunity in order to have coaches on your team. So this summer, I fully committed to that. As awkward as it was, I didn't know what to say about it. Every single day I get on my stories and I talk about the coaching opportunity, or I shout out a coach and tell them why. Because we can't just talk about our boot camps and then want coaches to come to us without talking about it. So make sure that you also share that piece. Okay.
Brittany, did you have anything you wanted to say there? Otherwise, I have a question about that.
Oh, I was laughing because Candace like froze, but then she came back and I was like,
Oh.
like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like I said, like, I mean, my end goal is like, I want to stay home and raise my babies, right?
Yeah.
But, and like that, like when you write your why on the tracker, like, that's why I'm here. Like, yes, I love helping people, but like, that is the big push for me right now. So I find it really hard to share about the coaching opportunity without flat out saying like, I do this because I want to quit my job, because I can't say that because.
Why can't you say it?
Because they already know I'm not all that committed, and I think they'll just ask.
Do they follow you on social media and stuff?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, like my coworkers do.
Okay. But I still think you could say, like, listen, my dreams are that I stay home with my kids. Like, I'm a teacher, and I've said that on my stories. Like, I've made posts in my backyard with my laptop. The kids were playing behind me, and I was like, my post was like, one day this will be my office. And I don't think that that means you're a bad employer. Like I still go to work and I show up and I teach the kids and I do all the teacher things and I teach and I'm fully there. But I can also share that I have dreams, that I'm my own boss and that I'm on my own time and that I don't have to get it approved by somebody to pick my daughter up from her first day of preschool, which I might cry because I literally didn't get to this year. My parents picked her up because I had conferences. And I looked at my husband and I was like, and he was ticked too because he's a teacher in our building and we both couldn't go get her on her first day of preschool and hear all the things. Like you can share that. That doesn't make you a bad employee to share that that's not okay with me anymore. And that this is my opportunity to get myself out of that. Like, I don't think that makes you a bad employer. Does that hopefully make sense?
I'm in human resources and we don't have time to watch people's stories to see that they're going to be onto something else or to have a different passion. And as long as you are being mindful of your time at work,
right,
and still doing,
I have a hard time doing.
What's that?
Which I have a hard time doing.
And I think we all do. So you do have to be mindful of that, make sure that you're staying within good standings because, and the other thing is on this topic, I think, I totally relate to you, and wanting to be out of the full-time job where like a few months ago, I was able to go down to 3 days a week. I have since had to go back to full-time. But those were like the best weeks of my life and I like dream of them again. And I think sharing that, like that was probably like I felt like I was like free to say stuff, but I can still say that because I still want the time freedom. I still like I don't want to have to put my puppies in a crate and leave for work and things like that. Those are definitely things that you can talk about. Like you're not gonna be like, hey, peace out, employer, or something like that. That's not what you're saying. You're just saying like, I dream of being home with my kids. I dream of time freedom. I dream of whatever. Or maybe you have like a financial goal or you can talk about that, but then you can also talk about like what coaching has done for you today, because you're not necessarily looking to attract people who are ready to quit their full-time jobs and coach with you. You are looking for people who are ready just to get where you are too. And so don't overshadow that. Like, you still need your emeralds, you still need your discount coaches, you still need people who are just where you are. And so that's okay that you're not attracting somebody right off the bat that's ready to quit their full-time job today.
What are your other thoughts around that, Jessica?
So my other thing with sharing the coaching deal is like, yeah, what has it done for you today? So like I was in a hole. And it makes you be a better human, right? So, but my problem with that is like coaching is not a cure for your mental health, but like for me, like it dug me out, like because it gave me the people and all those things. But that's the thing, I don't ever want to make it sound like I want to fix your mental health, or like even with your workouts. I don't know if you've ever thought of it that way. Like even with boot camps, it's like I'm not a professional, but I do think that it's an important part of mental health.
Yeah. And I don't want to discount anyone's mental health either, but you can speak to what it's done for you and your personal experience. And you don't have to say that it cured your mental health, but you just said it gave you the people. Like, tell about that. Like what made your mental health better? Share that maybe. And then like, as far as the workouts, like those are planned by professionals. Those people are the best of the best. Like we didn't make the plans, they did. And we're just offering the gift of giving other people those plans that are made by professionals. So, I think you can maybe not overthink that part so much and you can just share. Cause like, if that brings you to tears, you need to share pieces of that because you are going to be a light for somebody that was where you were. And like, how freaking amazing is that? So find a way to share that somehow, but I know what you mean. You don't want to share and say like, this is going to fix you or cure you or whatever, but don't share that. Share what it gave you that helped you, you know? And I think the people thing, I think we all need to share more about that because it gives us amazing people. Like for me, I didn't think I needed more friends. My family's my friends. I'm busy. I'm a mom. I don't have time to hang out with people. But then I had got this community and you guys and this whole thing. And I'm like, how was I living without this before? You know, like it's incredible. And I think everybody needs it, whether they know it or not. So find ways to share that because it's major. Amanda, were you going to add stuff? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jessica, mental health sharing is difficult in any aspect, but I know some of my most reacted posts are some of those most vulnerable ones where I literally would take a selfie of myself after I'd been crying and after a long day of work that said, this is my face of anxiety. You may not tell that it looks any different or that it's, but sharing those parts and being vulnerable, those are the ones that are going to really speak to people.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's
For sure.
hard.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody else with stuff or comments or thoughts? This conversation is like golden.
And definitely, Candace, I think I talked about it one time with Andrea too, but it's amazing. Not necessarily that you get rid of other friends, but you realize, well, some I honestly did, but but you just realize which people you'd rather spend the time with that are elevating you versus
Yeah.
staying stagnant.
Yeah, for sure. And you realize, for me, I realize I do have dreams and different desires and wants and aspirations. And this circle never like says they're silly. Whereas like all my other circles, I wouldn't bring it up. I'll just say that, you know, they wouldn't get it or they'd downplay it or they'd say, why aren't you happy now? Why can't you just be happy how you am? Well, I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
There's more out there.
everything's good now.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. We're all
Yes, I was
fine.
just thinking that. I'm
It's
fine.
fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Do I look fine? I'm fine.
The other two are like, these guys are nuts.
Sorry. Nicole's just trying to have dinner over there. Oh. Anything else, you guys? Any other comments or thoughts, questions? Any other things that hold you up or feel like stop you in your tracks? No? Okay. All right. I'll share this and I'll share the slides too so that you can see the videos and stuff I linked or share it with any of your people. So thanks for being on, you guys. This was a super fun way to end a Monday night. See you guys.
See you guys.